we're live on 8:08 on a Friday then. Saturday, Sunday, what? What's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, wrong ones, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, goddess, North American Sybil, messenger of God, child of God. I am the LILITH reincarnated on a Friday then. In order to keep up with me, you would have to catch what's in my community page. Hey, I was looking for this. It's Friday, y'all. For anybody that doesn't know, that's our happy little... Hold on. Sorry, my son's excited about whatever he's watching. That's our little jingle jangle to the bullshit. We get to work on Friday and we do our shadow work. So I posted in my community page. I got hit with shadow work before I even got to work, bro. It was time to get to work. I knew it was gonna come. I just didn't know when, because it's Friday then. I'm trying to dig out my cards as we talk. No, I just had to close the door because you were being loud. Go in there. What happened? I was chilling. I had a good morning. I was listening. I had like extra time and everything. I was chilling, and the fucking Wolfman popped up on my page. And with the Sagittarius video, I was like, you look high, bro. What's your deal? And I opened it, and he triggered me right away. And I'm like, oh, I fucking hate twin flames, bro. Anyway, I fucking hate twin flames, bro. I fucking hate them. How many do I have? 12. So, what's a twin flame? It's a soul tie, fucking complete stranger. It's an attraction that you can't get rid of. And this stranger is just meant to bother you and bring out all your unhealed aspects so that you can see them and heal them. In the essence of, you're like, oh my god, I fucking can't stand you, and you act up, and then you realize, dang, I'm acting a fool. That's pretty much what they do. And so, with that being said, I got lots of them, and today it was, this motherfucker right here. So what do you say? I don't know, he started right away with his videos talking about, how much sex he used to have with his Sagittarian freaking exes, but he kept saying fuck. He's like, yeah, we used to fuck all the time, like 6 times a day and this and that. And I just got disgusted with him. I was like, yeah, because you're just a fucking fuckboy and that's all you know how to do. You fucking disgust me. Anyway, so I posted this and I let it go, and then I got in the car and I was jamming with my spirit guides like for hella long. And then it hit me, like I turned on the music, I was talking to Pac, and I was like, he's such a fucking asshole, I can't fucking stand him. I realized at that moment I'm triggered. I'm talking hella shit about this in my car with Pac. And I'm like, this, that, and the other. And I was like, I realized I'm triggered. I'm like, ugh, what am I triggered about? And it just happened so quickly. I realized what it was. It's like, that's all he has to offer. So first off, I'm pissed off. Because I'm pissed off at myself because I'm out here trying to... No, let me start over. I have a lot of unhealed traits that these guys bring out. One of the biggest ones is all of my sexual trauma. I'm supposed to heal all this shit and go be happily ever after with somebody, right? I'm supposed to heal all of my sexual trauma and relationship issues so that I can go out and be married with children. And the whole fucking idea is terrifying and disgusting to me, and I want nothing to do with it, but it is God's plan, and this is what I have to do. So all the time I have to face all these fucked up issues. So as he's talking about, we fuck all the time, and how many times do you guys be fucking? And I'm like, you fucking asshole. And I sit back and I realize, I'm not mad about what he's saying. It's not that I'm mad, I'm hurt. Because I'm out here looking for love. And I'm like a 42-year-old fucking virgin. Because all of my sexual experiences, whether they were good or bad, my reflex to them because of my childhood experiences was a blackout. So in essence, my whole life, and if you look at it, and how I look at it, is like I just got fucked. And all I have to show for it is 4 kids. I have no fucking memories of ever having sex or ever having love or any good memories, bro. And that's, on top of all the extra work that we do. So he comes out here just talking about fucking bitches and how he be fucking bitches and how they be fucking. And it just, it triggers all of my wounds. Enough said. Right before I get to work. And, you know, I want to be like, oh my god, but then I just start, I can't stand you fucking spirit guides, you guys are fucking terrible, right before work, are you fucking kidding me? But I realize what it is, and I just like, alright. And then, you know, you look at the 2 readings I did this week, we did the Palladians, talking about sacral and all of these sexual traumas passed on and stuff, and it's like, dude, this is forever a subject. You are forever going to hear me talk about sexual issues. As the Lilith, here to set balance to sexuality, it's always going to be like the top of the subject, bro. Swear to God. But you know, it's one of those things you're like, jeez. And you feel like you're so healed, and then something like that comes in, and it just got me so fucking triggered. It's like, let me just say it as vulnerable it is. I don't want to be fucked, dude. That's what happened to me ever since I was a child. Men have just fucked me. And there apparently a couple women were in on it too. Seriously? Yeah, bro. So that triggered the shit out of me. Right before I get to work. I'm trying to pull it together, and all I hear is, I'll make love to you. I'm like, oh god. Before I even clock in, and I'm supposed to remember all of my, you know, I'm supposed to remember everything I'm supposed to do, right? I'm supposed to turn this fucking brain on, and all I'm thinking about is this bullshit real quick. I'm like, alright, pull it together. I start burning sage in my car, have a cigarette. I'm like, fuck. Just deal with it real quick. And that's really what it is just deal with it. Get to the truth and you can move on. What is it? Why are you so mad? I'm not mad. I'm hurt. And I'm afraid that I'm going to get fucked. Isn't that terrible? No, it gets worse. It's so much worse because I wasn't just a passive bitch. I was well trained by manipulative husbands that if I didn't do such acts, then they would do other acts. So now I'm not, you know, you put all that together, I'm a well-trained dirty freak in the bed, and I've never been made love to. I'm like a, you know, sex slave and all of this dirtiness. So I've been turned off. My twin flame comes in. He comes to visit me. This shit turns on, and I give him this crazy blowjob and don't understand what has just happened. Why did I act like that? I don't. He's a married man. What did I do? Not knowing that I've been programmed that this is how I show love, and if I don't do this, then this, that, and the other. So I have to work through all these programmings and stuff. It's like, oh my god, Becky. Hey, is that Eminem? Hey, pull up a seat, dude. It's about to go down. For reals. Let's do some fucking healing. No shit, right? First thing in the morning. Ugh, just thinking about it gives me cramps. So that pissed me off. It's like, it's not his fault. He's just talking about his own unhealed ways of how he fucks the shit out of bitches and then, you know, has all these fucking, you know, he's just concubines bitches. Oh, that's nice. I was one of those bitches in my lifetime. That feels real good to hear these stories. Lovely. First thing in the morning. Yes. So, you know, I gotta clock in and shit. And I'm like, I'm so not into it. Forgive me. I am a spiritual worker, and this is what I teach is on Friday we deal with intense spiritual work. What happens is the outside world it triggers us to implode with repressed memories and feelings. Most people have that kind of shit happen on a Monday where just everything gets on their nerves and they get triggered and they blow up and they have bad days. Here in the spiritual community, we do this on a Friday because this, you know, it's a Venus day, and it pushes us into our heart and all the pains the surface, and then something outside of us pushes that, you know, those memories and those repressed thoughts to the surface. I have twin flames, which are, as I just described, soul connections to strangers that I'm attracted to, and I'll go look at them and they'll trigger all of this. I'm grateful for it because I've lost all my memories, but I hate them for it, and it just happened before work. So give me just a few moments to breathe this out, and I'll be right back. And I did. I got it back to it real good, and then God was super good. It was not a crazy day. We had enough downtime to play, you know, to run the day, but still be able to, you know, be in the liminal. So then I'm good. I make it through the day. I realize, all right, I didn't have to sit pissed off all day. That's what it is. You don't want to sit around bothered. Find out why you're bothered. Get to the root of it. You know what I mean? Think about it. Do what you can to get yourself back to normal, and then proceed. And when you have time, you'll revisit this. Is that how it is? Or you have to stay all in it if you get pulled in it. But at that time, no. And this is a mastery of me. I was like, God was going to do this. It happens every Friday. This is a test of the broadcast system. And, you know, this is how I'm going to have to learn how to deal with shadow work and regular work problems. And that was it. And it was, you know, Amen. It wasn't like I wasn't going to have this happen. At some point in my day, something wasn't going to trigger me into some kind of memory or repressed emotion that could have acted out if I didn't catch myself. So I caught myself. I was really going off the deep end. I can't fucking stand him. He's such a fucking loser. Fucking. I had that Russ feel. He rustled my feathers, right? So then I get off of work. And there he is again. He said he was going to drop 2 videos. That's what started it. I'm going to give you two of them. He's like, when I said that, how many times do you guys have sex? Like twice a day? I was like, oh my God. So he comes out with the next video, and I'm listening to it. Why? Because God makes me. If I run from it, it's because I'm running from my feelings. I don't want to fucking deal with you. You fucking irritate me. It's not like I like to be pissed off, but if there's an opportunity to see, because I'm not an angry person. Anger is hiding something. I'm hiding behind anger. I learned that about myself and my twin flame, Marshall Mathers. And that's why I said, sit down. Sit down. Shut up. And that's it. It's like we're supposed to use these angering moments as self-evaluating moments because we're not really angry, bro. You hide behind that. I don't care who you are. You're a kind person. God didn't make you angry. The world makes you angry. And it's an emotion we all feel, but it's an emotion that we can use to channel into, it's a channel to a much bigger emotion that's far more powerful. Anger is powerful, but the vulnerability that's behind that anger, the story behind that anger is far more powerful. Right, Marshall? It's not what we do, it's why we do it. And that's why I told her, I was like, that's why we have a justice system. Because people act out. And we get an opportunity to explain why we act out. Now, I use that statement in something completely different. We were talking about something at work. We were talking about codes, conducts, and ethics. And how there are, sometimes, and when you're in a position, you have to decide what's best from a moral compass rather than the standard, right? And it's what we said. And I was like, if this situation came down and I was to lose, if I was ever put in that situation, I had to make that moral decision and there was a cost that I might lose my job, I would stand before the higher ups and explain myself. And if I lost my job for something like that, then I could walk away feeling like I did the right thing. And that's just kind of it. A good story is like Mr. Plum. They told him in order for him to be an educator in his hometown, this guy came in and told him he had to shave his mustache. He's like, it looks all good, but you're going to have to get rid of that mustache. He said, no, sir. He said, well, I'm sorry then. So then Mr. Plum got another job. He came home and his dad was like, you didn't take a job because of your mustache? And he told him to his dad, he said, Daddy, would you have shaved your mustache? And his dad couldn't say shit. He just had to wait to see what he was going to do next. He got a great job, and then 2 weeks into his job, that guy is like, I made an enormous mistake. We would love to have you. No, he said, I already have a contract. And he ended up staying with Hugo School District for the rest of his years. I think like 40 years or something. And that's just it. You got to you got to stand behind your decisions. So, going back to all this bull whack shit. So, I listened to this douchebag at the end of he's doing another video. The video is so very upfront. It says, you're not interested because this person is emotionally unavailable. And, you guys have soul ties, but blah, 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 blah. And then he tries to say, he's like, well, let's see about reconciliation. Let's see what it's going to take to get back together. Did you not hear the reason of why I don't want to be with them? And yeah, who cares how they feel? You saw that they are holding back their emotions because, and he said it, I've never seen this before, they don't know how to love themselves. Are we talking about my twin flames outside of you or you included? You don't know how to love yourself, therefore you can't accept your feelings for me. Fix what you need to and come close to me. Now, I have no problem denying that I love you guys. I tell you all the time. Next step is admitting my feelings, walking in them. But to you trigger me like everyone else, and I have repulsion, and I have to deal with it, and then I come back. What? For more. Why? Because that's all I get out of you fuckheads, is healing, right? Because you don't know how to love yourself, so you're not going to be able to love me. But I love myself through all of the harshness of what you do, just to remind me what I've already been through, which is, you're not doing anything clever, my friend. Speaking like that and shit. No, at 15, my first husband was a Sagittarius, and that's all we did because I lost my virginity. We went to sex stores, read books. I was the first person to ever own the Kama Sutra. Okay? My older brothers and sisters came to me. Okay, so that's, yeah, okay, fine. I'll wear the Magnum on this one. But in the essence, They bother me because they bring, what it is a mirror. They're showing me a side of me that I deny. And as he says it, he thinks it's cute because I'm over here telling everyone I'll fuck the shit out of you. Okay, now you just made me you made me aware. By looking at you, I can see my own bad traits. And then I have to fix mine. And then you don't fix yours. I just come back and realize, ew, you're an unhealed version of me. That's not sexy. Marshall, can you heal this so that I don't have someone that can look at that's not unhealed? Oh, God. And this morning, I sent a terrible message to Allie first thing in the morning. I had to delete it. It was that bad. It was that bad. It was a voice memo. Had to delete it. I was like, he can't wake up to that. That's gonna, yeah. Oh, God, Allie. It was so bad. What is so bad? Your fucking music. Moving on. So, let's see where we are in the pits of hell. What level of hell we are in. Did you enjoy my intro? Yes. In the essence, like, you guys want me to stay stuck on you, bro, but God just sticks me to you so I can fucking be irritated by you and fix my problems. You're not my problem, you just bring out all my problems. That's not a good relationship. Who the fuck romanticizes this? And in the essence, I want to be made love to, and you're running around saying you're gonna fuck me. No, I'll fuck you, and then fuck you. See, that's not fun. That's power and control, and that's Lilith, and it's unhealed, and take your panties off, and I'm gonna bend you over and find your G-spot. Is how I feel about it. See what I mean? You put me in all my masculinity. Why? So I can heal it? Ugh. You want to be with your twin flame? No. 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 I really regret this. I prayed for you, bro. You don't know, but I prayed for a soulmate to come get me out of the twin flame. What did you do? What did you do? You became one of them. What the fuck? I am stuck in hell with a bunch of old lovers that I just gave my heart to and made all these promises. I just kept living out promises and not realizing that these promises were going to come back to bite me in the ass. I promise I'll love you forever. I promise I'll find you in the next life. I promise. I promise. Fuck! And here I am. I promise to bring humankind back to heaven with me. God damn it. I'm not making no promises in this life. Why? Because you're only as good as your word, and you will be held to that word in the court of law. Which court? Spiritual court. Fucking shit. But that's why I get to get out of hell, is because I'll do the work. I do the community service that is needed to get the fuck out of this shit. The rest of you, fuck. You're gonna die and come back and still do this shit. I'm not playing this game with you, bro. I'm gonna be like Pac, laughing at you, wondering why we call you bitch, bro. I'm gonna be the invisible. Where are we at, Dante? The Wraths of the Minotaur. We were at the Minotaur. No. Okay, it's about the Centaur, and it's about the Sagittarius, and it's about all of this, so fine. Hey, did you know, I saw it when I didn't have any service, so I couldn't look it up. Did you know that Marilyn Manson made a song called Sagittarius? And he did a performance that was so big and epic that it was, like, monumental. I don't know, I saw a post about it, and I was like, he made a song called Sagittarius? I bet that's good. And I went to go look it up, but I couldn't find it. And the whole point was him in his Sagittarius videos. And he's trying to be like, you know why? Because he's trying, if he realized he was trying to push me back to Marshall, he'd be kind of pissed. If he realized he was pushing me into Allie, he'd be kind of pissed. His stupid cards is he's trying to push me to give him another chance. Bro, a chance to what? Let me down? And here comes NF. Sorry that you are the only one that doesn't let me down because you don't actually go anywhere, clown. The tears of a clown when there's no one. Okay, we are channeling. Turn the channel. What number are we at? 16. Yeah, and there's a meteor shower tonight. Make sure you go get they're calling it. I'm gonna put it as the cover. It's raining fire from the sky. I want to see this. I want to see. Hey, how's Alabama and Arkansas? I posted that too. First thing in the morning, I was like, oh, somebody warned Alabama and Arkansas that it's not good. It's not looking so good for them today or this weekend. There's a lot going on. I'm just supposed to relay the messages and get to work. I got a job to do in the real life too, you know. This is in French. That's not going to help me. How's your Sanskrit? Hey, bro. I just want to point it out. The secret's out. They know I know Spanish. Which means what? They're going to put me in a Spanish-speaking neighborhood. Why? Si habla español. So, somos gentes, right? They're my familia. Alright, the Wrath of the Minotaur. Dante and Virgil descend a ravine into the 7th circle of hell. All right, everybody pull out your maps of hell. I am your leader. I'm going to tell you how to get out of this. Okay? Where they meet the dreaded Minotaur. It fumes in rage at them, gnawing at its own flesh. Half man, half bull, and utterly fierce and bestial. The Minotaur is an ideal guardian for the 7th circle, whereas we find the souls of violent and cruel. Oh, yeah. And then there was that. Lumen Moon is picking up that you guys did what I told you not to do. I told you not to do that. So last week or the week before, I taught you guys all about necromancy and spirit work and invocations and banishment. No, we didn't talk about banishment. We talked about exorcisms. As I got that book, I told you guys not to be doing this shit, because then you open this shit and then this shit gets out. So then she comes out and says, they were playing with spell work and they tried to send some spell work at you, and now they let some shit out and they're terrified, or they're about to be. Bro, who are you going to call? We talked about it in the videos. The Catholic Church is not going to clean this up. I don't know where you're going to find somebody that's going to come clean this up. What, ghost hunters? Shut up, bro. I told you not to do that. You're going to have to contact me directly. You done fucked up now. Why? Because I don't think anybody else is going to help you. And no, I didn't catch no spell work or nothing, as I said in the post. I'm not accepting spell work currently. And anything you conjure up is your own problem to deal with. Normally, I don't give a shit. You can bring it to me, and all it does is push my shadows to the surface so I can heal them. Everything is meant to push my shadows to the surface so I can heal them. So it doesn't matter where or who or what makes it happen. But right now, I don't have time for that shit. I have to give time to the real world, so I can't take on spiritual shit your guys' weenie little attacks. So you have to deal with your attacks. What happens? You created an energy, and it's literally, how do I explain this? It's on a thread. You know what I mean? You created a monster and you put it on a leash. No matter what the monster does, it's still going to come back to you, the Minotaur. There you go. There's a perfect example. Meaning, you sent something to come get me or something, and it's supposed to come back and tell you that it got me. But if it doesn't get me, it's still hungry and it's going to get you. Okay. Well, what do you want me to do? The only thing that can save you is me, right? Because it was made to get me, right? Huh? You guys done fucked up now. High Priestess Phoenix 6 at Gmail. And it's going to cost you. You're going to have to tell the truth at why you did this. I was scared because I knew you were scared. Did you think God didn't know what you were doing? He always knows. Do you think you can bother me? No, only if he lets you. And you really don't. He uses you. Pac was doing it. He was sitting right next to me about it. He thought it would be funny. He always does. Wonder why I call him bitch. Fucking bitch. I love him. Anyways, going back to it. This card denotes the danger of hot tempers and rash behaviors. It is tempting to take criticism or opposition against us personally, feeling hate in our heart for those who do not seem to appreciate our vision or our value. Yo, you're rejected and you want to attack me because you got rejected? Yeah, that's in the videos too. What's your problem, bro? You're making up a fairy tale. I didn't reject you. You rejected me and I walked away. That is the entire story of all of these. I just have to meet rejection everywhere I go. Reject. I am like the world's reject. Why? I teach you rejection, bro. Ask Marshall. He's watched me be rejected over and over and over. He rejected me about 5-6 times himself. It's just part of it. You learn to deal with the no's. Matter of fact, there's training on that shit. Every no you take is that much closer to a yes, and that's what's scary. It only takes one yes. You gotta get used to people saying no. You gotta get used to people not liking you, not giving you a chance. Why? You gotta just get used to it, because when it only takes the right person to like you and give you a chance. You don't need everyone to like you and everyone to give you a chance. The right people will like you, and they will bend over backwards for you. You don't need to bend over backwards to get people to like you. The beginning of flame is, yeah, there's that. You try all of your behaviors to try to woo this person. You try to win this person, right? You try everything And that's part of the twin flame shit. It might work on a karmic level. Like if I did this with a regular person, they'd fall for this bullshit. But not your twin flames. It repulses them. The shit that you do to get people pushes them away. You know what I mean? So in essence, it's like, it'll work for, that's all there is to say about it. That kind of behaviors, you know what I mean? Overselling yourself and dressing yourself up and being, you know what I mean? Doing everything you can to get people on your side will work for only the wrong people. The right people don't have to be convinced. They will stand behind you 100%. So, going back to this card denotes the dangers of hot tempers and rash behaviors. It is tempting to take criticism or opposition, I can't say it. Against us personally. Maybe I said it right and it just didn't feel right. Feeling hate in our heart for those who don't seem to appreciate our vision or our value. Try to take a step back and cool your head. Russ used to do that a lot. He used to be like showing me all the time that he was trying, and I'd just be like, just, you know, he does that in life, so naturally he would get it from his twin flame too. It's like, you know, what he does isn't good enough. And I always tell him, just stop. You don't have to try with me. You don't have to try to be something you're not. Just be who you are, accept who you are, and work at that. Stop trying to dress it up, stop. But that shit works for other people. It just don't work for your twin flame. And that goes back to Marshall. Yeah, that shit don't work with us. We don't work. It just can't. Try to take a step back and cool your head. Meaning, I'm not rejecting you. I'm rejecting your behaviors. Why? Because they're not true to who you are, and I won't deal with that. Why? Because I have enough self-respect now. I didn't before. I didn't end up this fucking fucked up without a complete lack of self-respect, boundaries, self-care. You know what I mean? I let people completely use and abuse me my entire life. And I had to face that and start healing those things. How I would, you know what I mean, overextend myself for connections, codependency, if you will, but just anything, you know what I mean? An inability to say no because I liked that you would call me. I felt honored that you would call me. You know what I mean? Like, stupid shit like that. These are all things that need to be healed. You know, so in the sense of, I don't have it, he does.
Oh, that was mine.
Is that why you were giving me ugly looks?
Yeah, I thought you were using mine.
Alright, so going back to it, it's like, you know, you're going to have to deal with this. All of you will have to. It's like, my best wasn't good enough for you. You know, this is another sick conversation, but like, you know, going back to the sex. You know what I mean? Bobby would act like it was the best sex in the world and blah, 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 blah. He would always go on about, you know, he just enjoyed it. And then I told him straight up, I was like, if it was that great, my husband wouldn't have fucking cheated on me. Either of them. You know what I mean? In the sense of, it wasn't enough for them. Nothing I ever did for them was good enough. But yet I did it just because. You know what I mean? It wasn't even out of that. So I just want to show you as the right people will value the right qualities about you. And you don't have to overextend yourself. And that's why I use Russ. I tell him all the time. You don't have to do any of that for me to love you. You're doing extra to be loved. And you're going to learn that none of that was ever necessary. And that's the twin flame thing. Is like, you know, I had to learn that. I just wanted to be loved, so I did all of that. And that's through the dark night of the soul as you learn this. Hold on one second. What's going on?
My phone's about to die and I can't find my charger.
Okay. This is not important when I'm doing a video.
That one wasn't working.
Where's her charger? Okay, give her charger now. Goodness. I just don't want to hear her pop off. I'm already triggered. Obviously. Well, I'm working through my own triggers. I don't need an extra trigger. Stay on subject. So, yeah. Try to step back, cool your head. See the present situation as an outsider. How has personal attachment affected your perception? This card also speaks of self-sabotage as reckless behaviors derail us from the path we had intended. You may need to rein things in. On page 26, 16. It's interesting because it's like I had mentioned that at work, you know, what I do is I teach people to deal with their feelings and their thoughts as they come. instead of, you know, pushing them back and trying not to admit, you know, because ultimately whatever's pissing you off is going to piss you off again and again and again and again. And that's what, you know, you need to deal with. I had a hot temper. And I was walking around afterwards, after I took my bath, I was walking around the house. I was like, God, I can't fucking stand him. He's such a fucking idiot. And my daughter's like, who? I was like, nobody. And I had said it at least 4 times. I just kept calling him a fucking idiot over and over. Meaning, I don't really... Well, I mean, your video was annoying to me because you're trying to push a freaking... You know, you're trying to push a... You're trying to push a narrative on your cards. It was in the cards, bro. That I don't want nothing to do with it, and I have good reasons. And you're like, well, what's it going to take for you guys to get back together? Why are you trying to push not just me, but some other Sagittarius to go back to an ex after you read the cards and it was absolute trash? We don't want to go back to a fucking toxic relationship. And yet every time you fucking pull the cards on any of the 12 signs, you're encouraging them to go back to a toxic relationship. Yet you say you never go back, but you're always talking about your exes. Every Sagittarius video, you're talking about your exes, your ex-Sagittariuses. Do you do that in all 12 signs, bro? You have a lot of healing to do, and you make all of this come to the surface, which is, it's your problem, but I have my own, bro. And your over sexual behaviors bring out my sexual traumas, and it's just so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. I'd rather curl up next to Ali, someone that I think is a virgin and isn't going to try to fucking stick his tongue down my throat and force his fucking, you know, rub his dick on my ass. It's triggering as fuck. So don't think I want to fucking come curl up next to you or even sit down at a table with you knowing that you're scratching your balls and you have a pack of fucking condoms waiting to fuck me. I don't like that, bro. I don't know. These girls out here with these fantasies, perhaps. I lived out some pretty fun, sick, dirty, filthy, fetishy fantasies throughout my lives. I don't want to do that. I want love. I'll make love to you. Yeah, that. First thing in the morning, right? What the fuck? I just want to point out, this is why I'm your teacher, bro. And this is why, you know, I was ready for a job. Because I wasn't ready before that, dude. Those kind of things would come up. I start crying and shit. I was able to handle that shit. Open the safe, get to work. It was on it. It took me a couple minutes. I was a little discombobulated for about 5 minutes. I look like a normal first day employee. But I was right on it afterwards. We was handling it, bro. I was handling shit. It was good. Thank God God made it a much calmer day than the first week, the first couple days. But still. And that's it. You've got to be able to do this if you're going to try to be in the real world. The real world is only meant to trigger you into your emotional world, bro. So that you can deal with the shit that you've been holding on. You've been holding on to shit your whole life. Me, it's all sexual trauma. Well, not all of it, but mostly. I dealt with a lot of other stuff. You know what I mean? All the other abuse. But this one is very deep-rooted, bro. Deep. Where? In my loins. Alright, so you're dealing with temper and anger. And you need to calm down and realize, and that's what I said, we're not mad. What they said didn't make us mad. What they said hit a nerve, a hurt nerve. When you stub your toe, right, you scream out of full anger. Fuck! Oh my God, I fucking hate that thing. I'm getting rid of that fucking thing. I fucking do this. You stupid piece of shit. Well, maybe you don't act like that. I got a temper. I told you. I got a temper. And really, am I mad? No, I'm hurt. That thing just hurt me. No, it didn't. I did, because I just hit it all the time. It didn't even move. It never moves. It never moves. We all hit our toe on the same place of this fucking couch. This pull-out fucking bed. Anyways, are we mad at the bed? No. We're just hurt, and we're taking it out on the bed. Okay. Now imagine, dude, people do that to you all day, right? They fucking piss you off. Are they really pissing you off? Or are you just hurt about a lot of shit and you are just always, you know, quick to fucking jump off the fucking hinges like myself or Marshall Mathers, my twin flame? What are we dealing with today? Anger. Marshall! Would you like to take the mic? No! Pass the mic. It's all you ever talk about, how pissed off you are at the world. I'm glad you could join me today. We got all the twin flames. Who else wanted to come out with some bullshit? I'm going to talk about some bullshit. Just kidding. That's what they do. They're just made to face the bullshit. Let's see our dark mirrors. Let's see where my dark mirrors are. People are a mirror. Anybody that bothers you, it's because there's something inside of you that bothers you, bro. They're not bothering you. They're showing you that you're bothered. And you're not supposed to show it back, bro. Again, if we take all this pain and channel it as anger, then we're hurting other people and making them angry too. Do you know what I mean? 2 wrongs don't make this right. But, you know, it's alright in the beginning to understand that you're going to act a fool and understand why you're acting a fool and where it's all coming from. Yeah, parasite. There's one. What do we got? Blinded to pain. That's right on course, bro. My good hand's itching. That's nice. 13. You're denying your pain and you're acting out in anger. You're channeling. You're not channeling. You've turned off a whole flow of energy, which is pain. And you're flowing through a different channel. So imagine like your heart. You have all these valves. If you turn off a valve, you know what I mean? What's going to happen? You might still have some flow, but it's not going to be good flow, and you're not going to be, you know what I mean? You're not going to live for too long like that. That's how that is. Pain, anger, all of these things. There's too many feelings, and they have to all flow together. Let's talk about it. 13. Nope, that's in the sponge. Artificial heart. That's right about there. Blinded to pain. I can shoulder it, and it's not a big deal, isn't it? And that's it. You have to put your pain away. You have to put this away for a moment. Sometimes you have to, you know, it's not the right time. But you can't forget about it because you're forgetting about you. There's a part of you that hurts. And to keep changing your mind, you know, wiping your tears, taking in a breath, and forcing yourself to change your mind every time you hurt, that's not control at all. That lacks all control. That means you can't cope, so you're trying to turn your brain off. That's what got me here. I had a personality disorder, and every time I couldn't cope, it would change into another consciousness. So I have all these years of things that I couldn't cope with that are just coming to the surface now. There's many of you that past your surface level hurts. You're going to find a lot of subconscious wounds of, man, I can't believe that. You'll remember what somebody said and not understand that it hurt you so bad. Simple things like that, you know what I mean? That these simple things, those are the subconscious ones, but you need to deal with the ones on top right away. You know what I mean? You know that you've got a lot of anger towards this person. That's not anger, it's hurt. But you're channeling it into anger. You're taking an emotion and making it another emotion. You have your own anger, but that's not what you're holding on to with this person. You're holding on to hurt with this person and saying that it's anger. You know who these people are. Don't go in through the whole list because you might pass out. Just make the first one and write down. Instead of saying why you're mad at them, write down what they did to hurt you. And next to it, I want you to write down what you did to hurt them back. What was your get back? What was their payback for this? How did you get them back for what they did? If you didn't say nothing and you didn't do nothing, we know where to start. If you did say something and you did do something and that wasn't enough and you keep saying and you keep doing something, we know where to start. It doesn't matter what action or lack of action you took. We're going to figure it out. If you didn't say anything, then I know exactly what's your problem. If you keep needing to keep saying something and you're not being heard, then I know exactly what your problem is. Me knowing your problem means nothing. Do you know what your problem is? Make this list. Do one. Don't do more than one. Why? Because you might look at your list versus their list and start feeling really bad and realizing that I'm the bad person, not them. And I don't want you to face that. I just want you to heal one thing. We can deal with that later. When you see all of them, when you see all the people lined up, bro, and you see the pattern, how you did this to everybody, That's another thing. I don't want you to deal with that. That's something I deal with on my level. It's like, Wolfman, you are just, I have done this to everyone, and I'm trying to stop it with you. I've got to stop it with somebody, and that's those patterns. I couldn't stop it with this one, but I'll try to stop it with this one. Can I stop myself acting out with Russ? It doesn't seem to be that way. So this is unhealthy. I can't control this with you. I have to move on. Why can't I control it? Because he can't control himself. There's no peace there. It's not that I'm unhealed. It's that he's so unhealed that there's no peace to be seen in his being. There's no time that he won't do something unhealed. And always being around an unhealed person is always going to make you act out. You know what I mean? Not matching their energy, but just having to be suffocated by that. And that's what makes me have to walk away. You know, Bobby is so unhealed, bro. It does not matter how much I love him or want to see him, bro. Being around him, thinking about him, or seeing him only brings me to a low vibration. You don't want to be around someone that makes you feel like that. Now, if I think about him or I feel him, I have to think about him to get to the bottom of why is he on my mind. And it's always painful. It's more healing. And that's all 12 of them, bro. Plus 2. It doesn't matter how much I like you. If you're this unhealed and all you're bringing out, all you're doing is acting out and making me act out with you, then I have to walk away. And I have those moments with my daughter, bro. As a teenager, she starts acting out, and it's a battle. Nobody's gonna win this. I walk away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think I talked about that today at work. It's like, you know, asserting dominance. If two men are going to sit there, you know, two men want to assert dominance over each other, they're not going to stop until they're on the ground, rolling around, punching each other, and somebody has to come in and break them up. Right? Women asserting dominance over each other doesn't look the same way. But in essence, I don't need to assert my dominance anywhere. I don't want to be in a place where I have to assert my dominance. I want to be able to be free and vulnerable. I don't want to have to hold my purse and watch where I'm putting my purse, watch my drink. I don't want to have to worry about getting jacked. I don't want to be around people that are untrustworthy, that are shifty, that are, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what it is. It's like if I knew Russ could identify that he can't. He's just absolutely unhealed. I don't want to be around a person that's unhealed. It's not just Russ, but it's anybody like that. I have to stay away from an unhealed person because you're going to bring out... What's going to happen is I'm just going to challenge you all the time about your issues. You're challenging me by being around it. It's like, can you see my pain? Yes. Now the next thing is, can you see your pain? And you're going to deny your pain, and I'm going to shove your pain at you, and nobody wins. I don't want to be around your pain. I will help you. I will help you heal it, but I'm not going to sit in it with you. And just like mine. If I'm angry, that means I'm in pain, and I've got to fix this. I'm not going to sit around fucking angry. I'm not going to sit around listening to you angry. If you tell me you're angry, okay, you're hurt. What are you hurt about? Why are you so bothered? Is what you're going to hear out of me. And that's going to trigger you even worse. I'm not bothered. Well, why are we talking? And that's what I did to that girl. Why are we even talking about your coworkers? No, because I didn't start this conversation. You did. I don't want to talk about this. No, but... And that's what it is. All of this is coming to the surface because you got some unhealed shit. And I don't want to talk about any of this, but let's talk about your healing. Oh, no, it has nothing to do with you. I'm out. You're a victim to your coworkers, and that's why we're talking about them? In essence. You know, like, I just don't want to be around... I have to walk away. I really loved you, and I really liked you, but I realized that you're no good for me. I saw this saying, it's like choosing a soulmate over a twin flame. I choose neither. God chose this for me. I feel like Achilles. What life? I was born and this is what I am. I can't reject this. It's his promise, and it's my karma to work through this and be happily ever after. I don't know what happily ever after looks like. Anything you guys have painted, I don't want. These ideas, these romanticized relationships that you have is exactly what I don't want. And so the idea of having what everybody else has, it makes me fearful, it makes me repulsed, it makes me run away from the entire idea. I wasn't Eve. And I don't want to be that ever again. Right? So how do I have a mate without being an Eve? You know what I mean? And that's where this is all established. It's like, I'm not going to be something I'm not, just to have someone I don't really want. I've never had a good relationship, so why would I want one? I don't see you guys as having something I want either. I've never seen a good relationship. Not something that I would envy or be jealous of or strive for. I will leave the comments open on this particular video, and you are welcome to put down any relationship you know in history that was worth, that we can put our eyes on and say, I want a relationship like them. I have seen nothing that I want. I am literally working towards something invisible that I know doesn't exist. But God says will if I do this work. Whatever that may look like. It is not a person. Not that I've seen. I've tried to put many people into this idea of what a happy a holy union would look like. They just don't fit. And I can't fit into, your 3D matrix relationships. Not be a friendship, not be any of these fake relationships that you guys have. They're based on conditions. And you can't condition me to act any way. I'm not going to obey you for any reason. Not your love, not your respect, not your trust, not your money, not anything. I'm not going to obey you. You have no power or dominion over me. And there's the Lilith. I will not submit to a man. So how do I fulfill this role that God wants? Oh. Facing the bullshit. Let's face this. You can shoulder it, but it's not a big deal, is it? Flies pinned, not pinned, but ordered as bees, feeding on the nearly arranged blood. A woman's chest carved by a blade in a diamond pattern. Full lips the color of blood, blindfolded on whom the last fly lingers. The sentence. Carving oneself for every stroke of whip, and feeling so broken that it makes no difference to be whole. That's what a relationship was for me on page 26. T.S. Eliot said, a fly that lives a single day has lived as long as we. Yet we accept the passage of time like it doesn't matter, like we don't matter. Every day a single line is added to the pattern. A single fly is added to the wall. We take one more responsibility. We take a little more abuse. We shoulder a little more pain. We smile in front of a little more insolence. We close our eyes to our wounds. We think we can endure it. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. We say to ourselves, like men, and that's what it is. I was never angry. I'm never angry. I'm hurt. My whole life experience has hurt me as it has hurt you. And we hide behind the things of this world to mask how really sensitive and broken we are. Because in being so vulnerable, you have no power. You're a crab without a shell to protect yourself. But in being so naked, I guess, it's just better to be naked, to show your true self, because if they're going to eat you, they're going to eat through the shell. It's better to show them what they're going to get after the candy coating. And that's just it, like when I met Bobby, I just tried to hide everything. I didn't want him to know my true story. that I had just got out of homelessness. And that's my story. It's like, I just barely survived R. Kelly's meat locker. Oh, and then to top it off, it's his birthday. It's my ex-husband's birthday. All of this came. It's your dad's birthday. Yeah, I know. All of. Oh yeah, hi. Never open that gate. Jesus Christ Almighty! I will cut myself with a I will slice my wrist with a plastic fucking knife before I do that shit again. I will cut myself open like that. I mean, seriously, till the fucking blood runs fucking out. No, but in essence, it's just another trigger. Like, oh god, I came out of such a terrible fucking psychotic fucking relationship. I never wanted to have another relationship. And then I had feelings and I denied my own feelings because of my fears of what had happened before. And here I am again. What, denying my feelings? No, I'm acting my feelings, still facing the fears of what happened before. I'd like to say I'm no better off, but look at how far I've made it. And again, I only started doing it like 2.5 years ago. I have fucking a whole lifetime to heal. I wish I could have. I don't know what you guys have been through. I wish it was easy. It's simple, just not easy. It's not easy, bro. It's simple. It's simple work what we do here. Sitting with your fucking feelings, feeling all fucked up and fucking alchemizing them, changing your thoughts. It's pretty simple. It's just, it's bullshit. Anyways, that's it. We think we can endure it. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. We say to ourselves, like men because it's manly to endure and to be strong. Like women because it's feminine to endure and be strong. Like humans because the care and the gentleness, and that's what it is. You know, I could have gone into work and acted like nothing was bothering me. No, I'm cool. I'm just having a funny morning. I'm trying to get my head straight, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing right away. Why? So you can have a full understanding if you ever work with me on a Friday. This is what I do on a Friday. That's it. I mean, I'm not going to deny what I am. This is what I do. I do this on a spiritual level. So let me tell you, this guy said this, and it triggered all my sexual trauma. And all of this came to the surface. It's made to do it, and it's a grateful thing, and I just have to, you know, breathe it in real quick, and I'll be normal. It's like I specialize in this type of work, but this is what I got to do. And that gives her compassion. Oh, man, she didn't know nothing about me. She doesn't know why I'm locked in my head and I can't focus. She doesn't know why I'm not paying attention. Like, right away, let me tell you what's wrong with me. Not because, you know, I want to, you know, make a big scene, but I'm a little off. Give me a minute, I'm like super off. And I was. When you're in the dark night of the soul, you're in a black room with some memories and some feelings. Trying to pull yourself out of there and look at people in the face and act like everything is cool takes some fucking finesse. Some of you can walk around and be in that black room all the time, or you can walk around and never see that black room. It's called the dark night of the soul, and I have to visit that room all the time. That's where I find everything, is in the darkness of my mind. It's a black room, and it's one memory at a time that I'm sitting watching, and it's painful to watch. I'm watching this memory replay. I'm looking at it at all angles. It's just a vision. And I can't just pull my eyes out of this. I'm stuck in it. My feelings, I'm fully absorbed by this fucking vision right now. Something has fully pulled me into a past pain. Now that I see it. Not right away, no. When I'm driving down the street, I'm just talking shit. But when I see where it's coming from, which was so simple, what? You've been fucked your whole life. Oh, God, that hurts. Just saying your truth. That hurts. And you're just out of here fucking people, too. Oh, God, that hurts. And that's it. In that hurt, what you say the truth, and now you're in a room with all your memories. What memories you do have. And it's like, hold on, I'm at a stoplight and somebody's honking, and all I can see is this terrible fucking memory. That's why you don't go out in the world on, you know, when you're doing this type of work. Me? Nope. God sent me straight into the world to do it. I am a master at it. When you're triggered, your best thing to do is to pull back and deal with yourself. Nobody knows what's inside of your mind and what's happening inside of your body. They can see something's happening, and you're going to tell them nothing, and that's the wrong thing to do, because you're lying to them and they already can recognize. If somebody says what's wrong, you've got to admit that you're already caught. They can sense something's wrong. This is your opportunity to tell your truth. Somebody noticed you. Somebody notices that you're not okay inside. Not everybody, nobody saw it until this person. You acted totally cool, you looking like normal, but they don't know you're dying inside with a feeling or a memory. One person noticed, are you okay? Don't tell them that you are when you're not. Say, no, actually I'm not. I'm dealing with some repressed memories or repressed feelings. Can I take a few moments? If you can't get out of it, say, you know what? I need a day, dude. I apologize. I know, and if your physical and mental, your emotional and mental healing isn't important to your job space, then you don't need to be at that space, because they don't care that you're not you're not mentally fit to do the job, and you're not emotionally stable to do the job. It's not what you said. That's definitely not what you said. But when you're telling them, it's a bereavement is what you're doing. I'm having, you don't have to make up a call and say, I'm having, we're having a family emergency. I'm having a mental health emergency right now. I need to take the day off. We've got to find ways to take time for ourselves and for our mental health. Because if you don't deal with it right now, you put it somewhere else, and then it's going to come back up like me on your drive home, or when you're at home with your kids and you're walking around with Tourette's and you're just cussing because you really haven't dealt with your hurt, and now it's turned into anger. What I teach you to do is simple, but it's difficult in that sense, because you have to acknowledge it. And that's what he said, is these people can't, they don't love themselves. They're not emotionally available. You're not dealing with your emotions as they arise. I can't be with a person that doesn't do that, because that's what I study. Every emotion I deal with as it arises. If you're sitting next to me, I'm going to feel all your emotions. Don't just sit there and tell me no, and I'm reading them all, and you're putting them on me. You better deal with that. You better deal with wherever that came from. I'll help you. What are you feeling? What are you seeing? Don't pretend like you're not hurting. This is stupid. You can't do that to an empath anyways. But you can't do that to people that care about you and can recognize that something's wrong. Some people notice, bro. And that's what scares the shit about my twin flames, is I can feel them from planets away, bro. I can feel you're hurting. What's wrong? How can she feel? Because we're fucking soul tied. They told me that Russ can feel when I am. I don't know if you guys know when I'm crying. I don't know. I always cry. I used to take it to Marshall. He knew when I was hurting. Because I'd fucking tell him. He didn't have to be psychic. Hey, I'm fucking dying. It's Saturday and I hate my life. Seriously. Let's move on. Like humans, because the care and the gentle we feel is precious to others, and we don't dare to actually claim it for ourselves. After all, we can do it, but it actually hurts. It's pain. Tears are better than feeding flies on our own blood. And that's it. It's like, I had to look at her. I'm like, it's real and it's raw and I can deal with it, and that's where the growth is. It's like, I have painful memories that come up, and I just had some that came up, and I'm just dealing with them real quick. And, it's not a big deal. We can scream and say no or endure nevertheless, but remembering that we are just humans, neither heroes nor saints. Your pain is one of the most important feelings that you deny, and you don't honor it, and therefore nobody else can honor it. You're ashamed of it. You're ashamed of the things that have caused you pain, but nobody can have respect for you, admiration, sympathy, consideration for you until they know what you're dealing with. And that's me. People didn't understand me, but when they started to hear my stories, they had a lot more respect and consideration. And, when I act out, they know something's up. This isn't her. She's acting out. She'll be okay. She'll figure it out. They know that I'll figure this out. You know what I mean? And that's what's important, is like, even at a job space, hey, I am having, I'm emotionally upset right now. I'm going to deal with this. I know how to self-regulate. I just need a few moments to self-regulate. They want to know that you have coping mechanisms, that when a difficult situation comes at you, whether it's from, a client, a customer, a tenant, whatever it is, wherever you are, the outside world, they want to know that you can self-regulate, emotionally regulate yourself and your actions. And that's a good thing, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm really good at, is, damage control. with other people. I can definitely regulate other people and bring them down, but can I do that with myself? Do I have, you know what I mean? Can I execute in my own, being these things that I tell you? Do I practice what I preach? And that's it. Telling someone to calm down. That's not helpful. Can you show them how to calm down? You can't tell someone. Can you show them? If they knew how, they'd do it themselves. Can you show them? And that's what I was. It's like I was showing her what I do. Not caught up in what I do, but showing her, this is what I do. Watch this. And that's it. And you work through it. And that's, start with, you're not angry, you're hurt. Can you say that out loud, please? I'm not angry. I'm hurt. And that's where, you know what I mean, your kids come to you, or your lover comes to you, your parents, and they're like, I know you're fucking mad. I'm not mad. I'm hurt. I'm disappointed. It's not really anger. It just looks that way on my skin. And that's what's coming out. I don't usually show hurt. This is how I show hurt. It just looks like I'm angry. I'm showing hurt. Can you start to say that with me and acknowledge that you have a feeling that's hiding behind another feeling? And it's literally hiding. It's throwing rocks and hiding. Your hurt is what's behind this anger. Your anger is protecting your hurt. They're a team. And you have to separate them because there's a time for anger. For sure. You need that anger, but you don't need it tied up with hurt. It never looks good when you're so angry that you're crying. That's not a good thing. We don't want to mix these two. If I'm hurt, I'm hurt. If I'm angry. We want to be specific about what we're feeling. You know what I mean? We want to know what we're feeling. And you don't really, again, you're not emotionally aware of all of your feelings because they've been hiding behind other feelings. Something simplistic, work on that. When somebody says, how are you? Try to give them an honest answer. Even if it doesn't sound right. As honest as you can, especially if it's a stranger. Make them give you a weird look. I am surviving the dark night of the soul. How's your day going? Wow, what is that? Oh, you don't want to know. You look good though. Just tell them however you're really feeling. Don't always say a generic, programmed answer. I'm good. I'm great. I'm good. How are you? Whatever your answer may be. I always tell people super duper. That's usually what I say. I'm super duper. How are you? It's usually my answer. And you want it to be authentic. If you're not okay, then it's okay to be not okay. I'm not doing so good, but I'm faking it till I make it. How are you doing? And that's it too, is you ask somebody how you doing. Oh man, it's been one hell of a Friday. I feel it. We're almost through it though, aren't we? I had one of those calls today. Like, oh, we're almost through it though. In the essence, we'll get ready for another one next week. Honor your feelings. Got it? Got it? I teach you this, right? I could do this all night long. Let's not do it all night long. The only problem with doing this is I wake up a freaking appetite. I'm hungry for more. That's not funny. Oh, shit. We're going to go into the deep, dark, and dangerous. These are my newer cards, going one at a time. We're in a new one in darkness with Ninx. I read Ninx the other day, or last Saturday maybe, and it was Respite. We didn't actually get to this card though. Ew, I went to loneliness. Ew, are you guys feeling lonely? It's part of it. The detach is very lonely. It's very lonely. I guess. Oh, I went to Kali. I'm in here. I love me. Alright, that's not where we are. Ninx. 39. Did we read this? No, we didn't. I'm sure we didn't. The darkness is necessary. It is the place of possibilities and rest. It is natural and beneficial to experience some cycles of darkness. You can illuminate your way through dark times. Not everything unpleasant is evil. The duality is dark and light. And that's what I tell you. I sit in the dark. Oh, are you serious? My phone's not charged? Oh my gosh. It wasn't even connected this whole time. Oh well. Anyways, moving on. I sit in the darkness and that's where I find the light. I don't be in the light and find the darkness. Well, that's kind of what happened today. I was all love and light, driving down, just jamming, and then here comes my darkness. They go hand in hand. The embodiment of night is the goddess Nyx. She was one of the and I told you this was one of my versions, primordial or original deities emerging at the very beginning of the universe. Her fathers were Chaos and or Phanes, one of the oldest of the gods. She fell in love with Erebus, darkness, and created Ether, light, and Herma, day. She self-created an infamous 3 fates, and they have 3 names, and I'm not even going to try. Deception, Nemesis, Balance, and Retribution. Okay, there's all these names. Misery, Doom, Nightmares, Sleep, Death, Old Age, Strife, and Discord. The ferrymen of the underworld and the ferrymen of the underworld. In the Orphic tradition, oh my gosh, these words. Uranus, the god of the sky, was also a child of Nyx. She is often referred, so this is what they're trying to say. This is what darkness breeds. It breeds light, deception, misery, doom, nightmares, friendship, sleep, the ferryman, old age, strife, and discord. Did I read them all? Yes. They had all kinds of weird ass names. Why? Because there always is. Alright, so going back to it. She is often referred to as the Dark Mother of Greek mythos, elementary, the first dark goddess who begot many other important deities. As she is one of the oldest and strongest of the Greek deities, even the mighty Zeus is said not to provoke her. After angrily chasing Hypnos into Nyx's cave after being tricked by him and his own wife Hera, Zeus would not go further than the entrance. Looking at most of her progeny, it would have been easy to think that Nyx is evil or that her darkness could have negative judgment. Nyx should not be viewed this way. What? I'm just getting triggered. Maybe some... That's interesting. What is it? Lack? What am I thinking about? I don't know, money. I was thinking about money in the middle of this. Why am I... And anything having to do with money is a trigger. What am I thinking about money for? What was I thinking about? I don't know, buying something to eat, and it's like, don't spend your money. That's not me. That's not me. In the middle of my reading, that's what I mean. Did somebody send something at me? Like, what is this? This is completely off subject. Maybe some of the magic did get in. Whoop, whoop. You can't push me to have a lack mentality. I'll go spend all my money right now and let God pay all my bills and be wonderful like that. That will never work. I don't have a lack mentality. Why? Because I lack nothing. I have God. He provides everything out of darkness. Straight darkness. So, I don't know where that thought came from, but maybe I just needed to speak my truth over the thought, and I guess that's where I was in my darkness. What's hidden in my darkness? I don't know. Lack? Fear? Because I'm running out of money. That's where that came from. Are you? Yeah. I am. Are you going to make it? It doesn't matter. If I run out before a paycheck, God will still be there. If I run out today, tomorrow, whatever. Okay, that's why they're bringing it up. Okay, thanks, God. Like, where is this coming from? I saw patterns today. Very important patterns that I'm supposed to speak on. It was crazy. Okay. It was not a pattern. It was a language code that unveiled itself. What did I see? Alright, I started a conversation. I've seen a lot of interesting hustles. Right? Some ghetto shit. Every time you start a new job, you find out how people try to get over on the systems. So I have heard unbelievable ways of how these people are trying to get over on my current position, or not people that work my position, but the service that we provide and how people try to abuse this service, right? So I'm like, damn, people are fucking slick and crazy. They do the craziest shit, right? And then in the middle of my lunch, I was like, there used to be this great show I used to love all the time called American Greed. And they're like, oh, I used to watch it. I was like, yeah, people come up with these amazing ideas of how to get over on people and steal and cheat and lie. I was like, they would say that's the devil, but God does that, right? He comes, all creativity comes from the divine. We can't have these great ideas. I was like, I would have never thought of that. That's a great idea. It's absolutely absurd. It's genius that people are thinking about these kind of crazy ways to get over on other people, right? How to steal and lie and cheat the system or people, is what we're talking about. Then, out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, synchronistically, multiple people we had come across throughout the day had told us within the last 72 hours they had been hacked and wiped out. All different scenarios, bro. Not related at all. Even from different places, like not even Coloradans. You know what I mean? We had some other people that we were talking to. In the last 72 hours, all different scenarios, they had lost all their money. One person had gotten into they hacked somebody's Google account, took all of their money out of all their accounts, got over $3,000 before they got to it. This other person, this chick had told us, because she was late on her rent, she said that what had happened was she lost her debit card and they wiped out her entire account, $10,000. Are you serious? Yep. Then another person came up and he said they had to cancel his card. So I want you guys to be aware of this. Because as they said this, I was like, after like the third one today, I stood back and I told her, I said, this is something bigger than us. How many of these stories have we heard in one day? If we had, if you go out, you're going to hear more of these stories. I was like, God's doing this ultimately. These are people, that had a nest egg, that had everything, they planned to keep themselves, or to protect themselves from trials and tribulations by money and by materials. And God has come in and taken away their materials so that they have no safety net to face these trials and tribulations. They were holding on to money so that, as a protector. And that's what it is. You feel safe when you have a lot of money in the account. You know what I mean? No matter what happens, I've got some money to take care of it. But if you didn't have money, how would you act? And that's the thing is, so now I was using that as an example is, all these people that are losing their nest eggs and they're losing their jobs and they're losing their houses. They're losing everything to learn how to relive. You know what I mean? Not make the same mistakes and shit like that. So even though they're all victims of totally different circumstances, it's a collective. There was more than 3 people in my day that I had heard that had been wiped out financially. Okay? We read it in the cards, I think, not last night, but the night before. Financial failure. They were victims of it. But in essence, does this mean that God didn't love these people? Or that God had taken away, had put some trials and tribulations ahead of them? Will they do the same things to get these nest eggs, or will they learn that those nest eggs were never even safety nets to begin with? Will they go all mad and crazy after trying to get their monies back? Will any of them ever get any of their money back? Can they go on with that big of a loss? One chick lost $10,000, bro. Her whole savings. She had just moved here, dude. And you know what I mean? That was her to live, signed a new lease and everything. She can't even pay her first month's rent because on her way here, they fucking took her credit card and took all of her money. She was able to come up with her money for the rent, but that was at least a year, you know what I mean, of life. Will she be able to survive without it? Will God, you know what I mean? Does God not love her? Or has he made things hard? He sent her out here and took away all her money. I just want you guys to be aware that there is something going on right now. God is wiping away money. And that's where that came from, that thought. In the darkness, I'm sitting here reading this, and in the darkness, it's like, I was thinking, where did my thoughts go? I'm hungry. You should buy something. No, I gotta watch my money. I'm gonna run out of money. I'm like, wait. I'm not watching no money. It don't matter if we run out. God never runs out, is what I had to tell you. But that wasn't just my truth, it's what you need to tell yourself. That's what I tell myself. That's what you need to tell yourself. You will run out of money. But God never runs out of resources. You hear me? Want to hear what happened today? Talking about resources. So what happened was I forgot my fucking phone bill. So then my phone bill comes up and now I got to check my bank account. And now I know how much money I have. I'm like, oh, fuck. Right? So then I'm like, Tweedledee, Tweedledum. Yeah, I'll make it. It'll be fine. I was like, I just gotta be, conscious about this, and it'll be fine. And even if I run out, God's got me. But I want to be conscious about it and try to make a good attempt not to feel what I felt before. And that's what it is. So anyways, I was like, well, I'm gonna fill up my gas tank. I always teach people, make sure you, especially as I have a traveling job, I have to travel from locations. I need gas. But in essence, it's like, if I can't, I know how to get gas. But let me take care of the first need. What do I need? I need some gas. So I was like, all right, cool. On that side of town, the shit is hella cheap, bro. Over here by me, it's like 309, 319. But way over in fucking Preppyville, where I fucking work, it was 275 yesterday. So I told her, I was like, I'm gonna gas up today because it's cheaper over here. I get down there and it's 268. But my Holy Spirit says, don't go there. Go over to King Soopers. So I go over to King Soopers and it's 269. But they're like, use your points. I was like, oh yeah. And I walk up and it's 40 cents off the gallon. I was like, God is so smart. And that's where it is. It's like, you might be running out, but God is so resourceful. He has all kinds of ideas. All kinds of ideas how to get you through. And I just want you to know that, bro. God's going to get you through this with no money in your pocket. I didn't get here with any money in my pocket. You know what I mean? In the sense of all those years. And that's the magic. Is like, I wasn't doing anything on the side of the road other than asking for some help to get me where I've gotten. And, and I had to put my pride down. I did have to do some, asking and humiliating things to my pride, in the sense of, I don't want to ask. Don't tell me no. I don't want to be a baker. I really don't want to do this. But I've had to ask, and so shall it was given. And I just want to point that out. It's not off subject. It's not. As much as I thought it was, it's not. It's something that I realized earlier was happening. Financial stability is being ripped out of people's. It's literally you're being robbed, is what I've seen. These people were robbed, and it was all by the divine. It was a divine plan, and I want you to be aware, if something hits you, you're gonna be okay. Okay. And that's, you know what I mean? Those people, I didn't have to tell them, they already had faith. And some of them had support. But if you don't have faith and support, I want you to understand that God will always have a way for you. And that's that Jesus video, you know what I mean? How do we feed the people? We only have, 5 loaves and two fish. It's enough. Watch, God will multiply this. If I'm praying that God will multiply other people's money, what's He going to do for us? And that's what it is. When you're getting low, you get high. You know what I mean? You go down the you don't go low, go high. But you know what I mean? Trust God. God's got me. He's gonna bring in some miracles. We got all this. We're fine. We got plenty. And that's what I said. As soon as my mind says, and that's what I said, it was lack mentality. You better watch it. No, I'm fine. I watch God, not my pocket. He fills the pockets. I watch Him. It wasn't out of nowhere. This is in the darkness. This is somebody's darkness that needed to be said. It's not just somebody's. It's all of us. We all have these fears. Okay? I thought it was out of nowhere because we were dealing with something else, but that needs to be dealt with too. Put that on your shit to do. Poverty mindset is one of you always need to be working on that one. That one goes back that we're programmed to chase. You have to be programmed to receive. That's been my hardest as an empress. I'm not dumb. I'm receiving based on my, my worth, and I'm giving, and that's what it is. It's like God put me here because they needed me, and I needed experience, and I needed adventure. This is aligned. I didn't go chasing after something. God gave me what I needed, and it's going to be difficult, and it's going to be challenging, but I'm going to thrive. I'm going to give as much as I get. You know what I mean? And that's what it is I'm going to, I'm going to get a lot of experience out of this, but I'm going to give them all the experience I have too. And, this will be a good contract for not just me, but for the business that I work for. And that's because God put me to work here. That's what I said too. God always puts me in these freaking failing positions where I can shine. There's always this, they're losing the entire team. They're rebuilding a team, and they need strong leaders. And I get stuck in these places where I get to, be one of their, team leaders. I just want to be in a good team. And that's really what it is. That's what I told him. I was like, that's Kobe, bro. It doesn't matter how good we are. If we don't teach them how to be good, then we're gonna have to carry them to the championship every day, dude. We're gonna have to clean up our coworkers, jobs if we don't teach them how to be good. It's like, right? And that's it. It's like one trainer to another. I train you on a spiritual level. You train me on the physical level. We'll get this going. All right. Anyways, let's deal with your darkness. Looking at most of her progeny, it would be easy to think that Nynx is evil, or that her darkness could have a negative judgment. Nyx should never be viewed this way. Winged and beautiful, Nyx is simply the night, no judgment, and whether that be whether that is better than the day. And that's me. I mean, I think I do judge, and that's what I said too. It's like our judgment is our self-defense mechanism where we have to make sense of what we're seeing. So we have to label it. But we can change that label. We don't have to be narrow-minded. We have to figure out what we're looking at first, and then kind of tune that idea of what's in front of us. You judge a person right away. You look at them, you're like, yeah, I know what you're about. Don't judge a book by its cover. They're just dressed that way to look like that book. Everybody wants to be a book on the shelf. And that's what I'm telling you, is people look like they're all right. Don't judge that book, bro. Look in their eyes. Listen to their words. Are they all right? Are they really an angry person? Are they really a nice person? Are they what they're giving off? Or they're just dressed up? Paradoxically, she creates light and day. She brings balance with Nemesis, Phlytos, and Curies. She brings rest with Hypnos, and it's all those names. Nyx just represents the darker nature of how the world works. The plant companion is the night-blooming jasmine, and the crystal is the onyx. That makes sense. Well, she mentioned Hypnos in here, and that's the very next card. Let me see what Hypnos stands for. Hypnos stands for sleep. Well, duh, hypnosis. That's dumb. Well, I guess next week we'll get a rest. That's cool. Or they're telling us to rest. We might be... Yeah, with the Sagittarius, they're like, calm down. Calm down. We have a full moon in Sagittarius on Wednesday. Then Thursday is a Jupiter. Friday, then. That's going to be an intense weekend. The Friday is Friday the 13th, too. Are you superstitious? I'm superlicious. Let's read one more card. We're at an hour and some more shit. Why? Because we're going to read another new one, and then I'm going to move on. Where are we? I don't know. These are the freaking Morgan cards. Remember, this girl's a creep. She's a weirdo. She's one of those weird witches. Not, just kidding. I'm just not one of them. I need to find the guidebook. Give me a second. I still haven't cleaned this up. If you guys saw how bad my altar looks underneath. It's not. It's all in boxes and shit. It's just like, it is not supposed to look like this. It should look so much more organized. There's like light and dark and nothing I'm looking for. I got the Testament of God and plate and work and cards and shit. Where is that book? Give me a second, guys. Nope, that's demons. We don't want that. Are we just gonna pull everything out today? Jeez, Louise. And a bowl of cereal. That sounds good to me. A bowl of cereal sounds really good. Alright. Leah Fail. I went to Oath. What number are you? 12? I feel like that was it. We had 12, 13, 16, something. Memory isn't my best. Alright, nope, that's not it. Alright, let's take a look at the picture here. Looks like an offering to the gods. Alright, let's see what it says. Responsibility, nourishing others. The Leah Fail is one of the 4 magical treasures the Tuatha De Danann brought to Ireland. Let's see. It still stands on the hill of Tara, the ancient ceremonial site of kings, and the stones would cry out when the true king touched it. Here, Ariu, I don't know, goddess of sovereignty, whom Ireland is named after, sits before the stone. She holds the torque, symbol of rulership, the bounty and the fruits of the ley land. I'm seeing, what is that card? The 10 of Cups. I just have a lady. It's a. I can show you in a minute. I'll show you why I'm seeing that card in a minute. She holds the torque, the symbol of the rulers, the bounty and fruits of the land lay spread before her. She offers you a cup of mead to drink and claim your sovereignty. We talked about the mead, also honey, and that has to do with Maeve. You definitely need some honey. What's mead? I don't know. I use honey in that sense. On her bread is the Orgam Adad, representing visions, reciprocity, and our connection to the divine. The sovereignty she offers requires you to tend to yourself and others. It is caring for the tribe or the community. The feast before her is not for one person alone. It is to share, to nourish all. Divinatory meaning. When this card appears, it signals a time to become aware of your connection to others, to the land, and to the community, and to God, and to the gods. The sovereignty teaches us it is not about self. It is about how we tend to others, how we use our strengths to support and nourish those around us. When the king takes up the role of leadership, they are taking up responsibility for others. How do you care for those around you? What roles of leadership do you fulfill or wish to take on? Remember to nourish yourself so that you are strong enough to nourish others. Do not be afraid to accept the bounty that Eru offers. And then there's a spell for it. Ugh. We don't do her spells. Okay, I got the Queen of Cups out of that, but I got an actual vision of one of my cards, and I'll read that to you. So, I got out of this card, it's more about seeing the bigger picture, the role that you play. So that's going back to, you know what I mean, my twin flames. Okay, we have a role to play together here. I don't know why I'm the only one that accepts this is what this stupid shit is about. But we have a role to play between each other. But in playing this, you know, and that's what it is all of us are supposed to be reflecting this back, but not just to each other, to the collective. Confirmation. I'm supposed to teach them, right? They reflect my pain to me. I heal the pain and reflect the healing back to them. That way they can do the healing. Then they reflect their healing back to the crowds because they have the bigger spread. And that's how we create within each other or within our, you know, our tribe, this collective healing experience for the entire world. It starts with us as individuals, but our individual reach together is a collective reach around the world. It's a hug around the world, doing nothing more than facing our pains and alchemizing them and testifying to God's glory. Changes everybody. It gives them the power to face their own fears, alchemize them, and give all glory to God and put us all back in the bosom of, you know, in his arms. Oh God, there's a terrible song. Okay, so let me tell you the card I was seeing when I saw that. I should have kept that visual so you understood why I saw it. It's right there on top. It's right there on top. I said it. I saw the Ten of Cups. But that's not what I thought it was. I don't know who she is. Hold on. I thought this card was the Ten of Cups. Give me a second, guys. Like, what is it? I'll show you. It's this girl. Maybe it's the Nine of Cups. I saw the 9 where it's just one and she has all her shit. Give me a second. Get out my face, Loki. God. What's the Loki card? 7 of Swords. I say it all the time. Get out my face, Loki. He's always talking some shit. Let me find this card. Hold on. It's like 74 cards in here, you know. And some of them are upside down. Where the fuck is that card? There it is. It had to be at the very bottom. What was it? 9 of Cups. You see now why I saw her? Because it was a woman with a cup and all that bounty. So where are we? We're in great places. We're in abundance and rewards, which is actually our 10-day forecast. When was that? I don't know. It was in a couple of days. So we're still good. I feel like I still have a day or two before I have to do that. Tomorrow is Saturday. I do have to work. But tomorrow night, we already faced our shadows. You have plenty of work to do. And when you do the work, you'll be in abundance and reward. And that's it. What is the reward? Healing, bro. Not being bothered by the shit that you've been running from for a long time. But as soon as you're done facing that one, there's plenty more that we need to go through that you're still bothered with. These little bitty steps, bro. One a weekend, if you can take it. You know what I mean? If you could take a couple more throughout the week, that's great. If you could fill up your cup and start really digging through this shit. The real reward is not feeling the way you felt before. Not being pissed off, not being upset, not being lonely, not being sad. You work through these feelings so that you don't stay in them. You are not going to stop being lonely until you deal with your loneliness. Running to grab people is not going to help you not feel lonely. You're just going to feel lonely with people around. You haven't understand what loneliness is and started to cope with it. Started to understand what this feeling is and where it comes from. It's not you. Your situation isn't lonely. It's a feeling that you're holding on to. I spend all my time alone. I don't be feeling lonely. Don't be feeling lonely. Before, when I first woke up, I felt all alone. And all I wanted to do was be around people. And that's what started this bullshit. Chasing people. I found what? My fucking healing. Found problems. You're like, why am I doing this? Why do you want me to do this? Because I want you to feel happy. You project it. You pretend that things make you happy, but it burns off real fast. You know what I mean? They burn off too fast. I want you to just be happy. I'm more or less a happy person. Like, I'm happy. If I'm not, then there's something wrong with me. And I have to deal with that. I'm a happy person. My kids are happy people. If they're not happy, then something's bothering them, and we'll deal with what's bothering you. Don't act like nothing's bothering you. You don't always act like this. That's what it is. In general, you are a happy person. You're trying to put happiness on instead of just living in your happiness. And the reason you can't live in your happiness is because you have other feelings that are clouding your happiness. You can't get to the happiness without dealing with all of those other feelings. And believe me, when you deal with them, you become pretty proud. It's not proud. It doesn't feel good to do what we do and sit here and feel, you know what I mean? It didn't feel good to be pissed off first thing this morning. It doesn't feel good to have to explain to you why I can't go back to these relationships. It's just making me hurt. You know what I mean? It didn't feel good to do it. It felt good to be able to acknowledge what's wrong with me and be able to stand up to people and my peers and say, look, I didn't have to, you know what I mean? And that's it too. You know, like, hey, I have a really bad background, and you know, on these specific days it's usually triggered. I didn't expect it to come in first thing in the morning, but I'm going to do my best to handle it. And it's just the truth. I've had a really terrible life. I haven't been able to, you know, really kind of recover from it, and I'm doing my best. Cool. I mean, she had no reason to think anything. I just gave her more information, more understanding, compassion, and hopefully some forgiveness to any, you know, shortcomings I might have throughout today. And it wasn't necessary. I didn't have to explain myself. It was just the fact that I didn't have to hide it either. I don't have to pretend like I'm okay when I'm not okay. Let me tell you that it's okay, though. And that's where it is. It's like I didn't have to cry about it or anything. It's just like I can talk about it without bottling it up or being ashamed of it or, you know what I mean, not talking about it. And that's growth. And that's, you know, just being honest. Is like, I do this type of spiritual work. This is what I do. I can talk about what I do at work. I can tell them what I do. I'm not afraid to tell people that I'm a witch. Matter of fact, I got my K code. You know, I got all my keys and my codes and my badges today. And it's like, they're like, you know, you can park on property now. I was like, I don't want to do that. Why? I have a huge altar in my car, and I don't want that to be a bad reflection to the property. I'd rather just stay off property. Really? Yeah, it's for my own protection, to be honest. I don't want to be judged, and I don't want the property to be judged. And that's just it. But at the same time, you know what I mean? I was like, it's nothing against it. It's just, it's a protection. You know, I'm a face of the property, and I don't want them I don't want to offend any of the property, you know what I mean, any of the clients of the property with my own religious beliefs and, you know, practices. There's a full Ouija board in the front, in the dashboard of my car. I don't want, you know, walking up possible, you know what I mean, tenants to walk up and see that and be like, oh, I don't want to live here. They're doing witchcraft and shit like that. You know, but at the same time, I can walk in and say, hey, I'm a practitioner. You don't have anything to worry about, but I also keep my practices separate. But on a day like today, this is the type of practices I have to handle. It's not going to affect my work. I just need a moment to balance out my work schedule. And that's cool, is being honest about, you know, and being open instead of hiding that, you know, I'm a witch and I do this shit and I have a bad feeling and sometimes I cry and sometimes I have bad feelings and sometimes this. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lose my job for this. You can't fire me for this unless it's going to be, you know, problematic at my job. And the point of us having this conversation is to say, when I have these moments, I have to step back so I don't have a problematic day. That's cool. And I'm trying to teach you guys to be able to do that in your work environments. I'm having a mental health moment. I'm having an emotional health moment. Just kind of, I got triggered. What happened? I saw something on the internet that brought up some bad memories. I just need a minute. Do you mind? Yeah, do you want to talk about it? No, I really don't. I just need to kind of take a minute to sit with them. Just a minute. I'm not ready to talk about them. No therapy. Just a minute. And that's it. Creating a healthy, healing environment where it's like I can take a minute for my feelings. It's safe to have a minute to feel. And it can be respected in wherever I'm at. And that's where it is are you okay? Yeah, dude, that person said something and it just kind of, it reminded me of something that I just kind of, I'm unpacking a little bit in my head. You good? Yeah, I'll be good. I just need to really unpack this for a minute. I don't want to act like it's not bothering me. Did they bother you? No, it has nothing to do with them. They just reminded me of something that bothers me. That's okay. Can we have these open conversations? That's the reward. Not hiding and pretend that I'm okay all the time. That's what got me here, bro. Nobody knew what was wrong with me because I made sure of it. I hid it. I hid my sicknesses, dude. I hid my pains. I hid my traumas. I hid everything from the world. But then when I couldn't hide it and it would come up, people didn't know what was wrong with me. Now when it comes up, they're like, dude, it's okay. She'll be okay. She's a hurt person, bro. Sometimes she acts out, bro. She'll be okay. And that's it. You have to be okay with the fact that I am a hurt person and sometimes I act out. If you guys can't accept, you know what I mean, that Kanye is very hurt and no matter how far we get, he's going to act out sometimes. Marshall's going to get angry sometimes. We're going to do some of these behaviors because we're in a healing process. We're not fully healed. This is part of the healing, is acting out and catching those actions. That's not cool. You're holding me back by not letting me be me. It's not the best part of me. I'm a little bit ashamed of my actions too, but I need to see this for myself. This isn't the first time I've acted like this. I apologize. I'm trying to I am actually aware of this, and I'm working on this, actively working on this. I tend to act up every time somebody does something stupid like this. I'm really trying to get a handle on this. Okay, at least you're working on it. You're aware you're acting stupid right now. I very am. I apologize. I'm trying my best. I'm in therapy for this. Are they gonna fire you for that? Nah, they couldn't. I mean, they should. That's where those discriminatory works. All those civil acts come into play. You have to literally fuck your job up for them to fire you. Because if they fire you, you know what I mean. And that's where you got to know the termination policies. You know what I mean. Like if they fire you for no good reason, you can come back and sue the shit out of them motherfuckers. And that's why they don't just fire people. There's a procedure to how you lose your job. They have to legally cover themselves because they don't want to pay for your the unemployment, and they don't want to pay for a fucking lawsuit. You know what I mean? Because they, illegally terminated your employment. You know what I mean? It wasn't you're gonna have to call legal now. They've got a case. You weren't allowed to get rid of them for some shit like that. You can't be saying shit like that. You can't fire them for being gay. You can't fire them for fucking having them, you know what I mean, taking emotional, days. You can't do this. You can't. There's certain things they can fire you for immediately. Not showing up to your shift, abusing services or people. You know what I mean? That's what Kanye lost all of his for, is you know what I mean, you not standing up to the codes and conducts. If you act out of the code and conducts, you know what I mean, messing up verbatim, stuff like that, threatening. It's a lot of, what you say and what you do. You could lose your job, but there's a lot of those protective layers. And that's the truth is just being able to be truthful about yourself is the reward. Being free and being open. When you're in a place where you can really, you feel safe enough that you don't have to mask, that's something worth celebrating. Where you can be in a room and be accepted, that's worth celebrating. And that's what we started about. You guys you're angered because people don't appreciate you. You're pissed off because they're not appreciating how hard you're working at being someone else. I said that. You're mad. Let's use an example, right? Let's use my twin flames. They're fucking pissed off because I don't acknowledge. Let's use Russ. Why? Because he's fun. He'll get over it. I mean, he should. He gets pissed off because I don't want to acknowledge how hard he's working at to be a good man. Okay, but everyone's working hard to be a good man, and what you're doing is good man behaviors. You're just working hard to look like a good man. So he wants to be mad and have a temper about that. Now, you want to be mad because, they won't acknowledge that you're the hardest worker at your job. In essence, everybody's working hard at your job. You're just working overtime and nobody acknowledges it, but everybody acknowledges that everybody's working hard here. But they don't give you special, you know what I mean? They don't give you any special prizes for the extra shit that you do. Well, nobody gave them any prizes for the shit they do either. There's no prize across the board. We all work hard. That's what that means. Is like, you want people to, you're mad because people don't acknowledge your hard works. What you don't understand is that everybody's working that hard, and you're working hard to be, example. And this is to all of you artists. And it's happening. I told you, summertime. Joiner. Somebody just talks hella shit. I shared that about Lil Wayne, that he can't rap. It's just bullshit. And that's what most of these rappers are. They're using old fucking blueprints for the future, and nobody wants to hear that shit. But anyways, going back to it, it's like, Russ is really upset because the industry and people don't want to acknowledge how hard he works at being, a top-selling rapper. Everybody's working hard at being a top-selling rapper. You want us to give you a high five for what you're doing, but everyone's doing what the best they can to be exactly what you're trying to be. And you're mad that you're not there, but they're not mad that they're not there. And nobody cares if the people that are there aren't praising them or nothing else. It's just part of the game. I do all this work and you're ungrateful. Do you do the work so that they'll be grateful? Or you're just, you want praises for the work that you do? Meaning, I thought you did this because you love me, not because, it was, you had to. Stuff like that. Think about it. This is a good one. Lots of stuff to heal. I healed it all. I'm ready to, I really want a cold bowl of cereal is what I really want. Maybe a peanut butter jelly sandwich. That sounds good too. I got the munchies or something, obviously. I like at work and I'm burning a lot more calories and I'm hungry. And so I'm going to go and have a meal. I have another shift tomorrow. Whatever you face today is going to bring, is going to push you to your limits tomorrow. You're going to face it today, but it's really going to push itself to the limits, to the surface by tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Saturn day, so you're pushed into your limits, your age, and your reality. Age means wisdom, bro. It doesn't mean how old you are. It's have you learned yet? When we talk about age, it's like, have you learned this yet? In all these years, have you learned this? It doesn't matter how many years you've been doing it. You know what I mean? Joe Bart's been doing the same thing for 6 years. That's fine. Doesn't mean that he has to be as old as us. I've been doing the same shit for fucking, 20 years. How about you, Marshall? How many years are you going to keep doing the same old shit? That's all that means. So tonight I gave you plenty to look at. What does that mean? One of those subjects you have to take serious and evaluate, unpack, and change your belief system and walk in a new reality about it. You can't keep walking in that direction with that feeling and that thought. On any subject you want. Pick a subject if you didn't even like mine. If you're already dealing with something else, unpack that until you're down to the bottom of it. Till you get to the bottom of it. And then I want you to reprogram how you look at it. You can't reprogram how you look at it until you look at it different. And that's where you'll see it, and you'll tell yourself the different way you see it. But you have to go back and look at it all the way. And it's something that simple. It started with, all I saw was me piss off at Wolfman. I'm talking shit about Wolfman. So I start there. I'm looking at myself talking shit at Wolfman. Why are you talking to him like that? Because he's out here just trying to fuck people. And why does that bother you? And it was pretty simple. Just ask myself the question, why are you so bothered by this? But first acknowledge that you're bothered. You were fine until you saw this. Is it him? Or is it what he said? What did he say? What's got you all riled up? And let's talk about it and get to the end of it so you're not all riled up. It's simple, but it's not when you get into it and you're all riled up and you got to deal with all this. It could take you all day, all night, a week. I don't know how riled up you are and how many layers of this you got to sit there. You're going to sit there with this until it gets better. Until you see it until you see it better. God will lock you up in your room with your feelings, bro, and your memories, and you can't get out of them. You have to keep staring at this. How long do I have to keep looking at this? Until you see it differently. That's what'll happen. You'll see it. You'll see that moment. You'll see your healing in it. And that's what it is why are you so mad? What did he say that made you mad? I don't want to be fucked. Why? Because that's all that's ever happened to me. Okay, keep going. Did I say this out loud in my car? Sometimes, but not this particular time. I can have this conversation inside. And that's the heart to the mind. My mind's flipping out. What's wrong? And the heart asks, where's this coming from? And then we go back to the heart. Okay, that's true. And it's not. I'm not mad. I'm hurt. You're pushing my hurt out. I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you. That's not good either. That's hurt. That's power. That's control. You're not gonna fuck me. I'll fuck you. That's Lilith. We're not getting anywhere. You're making this hard on me. Am I making it hard on you? This isn't fun. I don't want to do this. See what I mean? I don't want to be in a twin flame. I'm never gonna get out of this. Even if I got out of you, I'm gonna be wrapped up in someone else. Why? Because you guys and your fucking shit. Is it your pains or mine? I mean, we're all hurt. Welcome to the awakening. Hey, I love you guys. Have a good night. Catch you tomorrow's laters, haters. Remember, I'm not angry. I'm hurt. Why am I hurt? Or why am I so angry? Because I'm hurt. What am I hurt about? Okay? Okay. Bye.